They say you can't change the past, but in one strange city, there was a shop that tried. No sign on the door, no opening hours, just a handwritten note. Regrets bought and sold, price negotiable. Most people walked past, but one night, Daniel didn't. Daniel was 32 and exhausted by the one thought that wouldn't leave him alone. I ruined my life at 24. 8 years ago, he had made one choice. Turned down one offer, ended one relationship, ignored one phone call. And his brain replayed that moment like a glitching video. Different life, different him, all living in his head. That night, after yet another replay, he stumbled down a side street and saw the door. Regrets bought and sold, he laughed to himself. If only, he muttered and pushed it open. The shop was smaller than he expected. Dusty shelves, old clocks, a faint smell of rain. Behind the counter sat an old woman with calm eyes, folding paper cranes out of receipts. Without looking up, she said, "Which one is it?" Daniel froze. "Which what?" "Which regret?" she said. "You wouldn't find this place if you didn't have one." He almost walked out, but the words slipped out before he could stop them. "I turned down a job in another country," he said. "I stayed, played it safe. I think that's where everything stopped." The woman nodded slowly. "Show me." She took out a small, empty glass jar and placed it on the counter between them. "Tell it," she said, "from the beginning, but this time like it's a story about someone else." So Daniel did. He talked about the email offer, the fear, the overthinking. He spoke in third person. He was scared of leaving his parents. He didn't want to fail publicly. He told himself there would be other chances. As he spoke, the jar slowly filled with a faint blue mist. When he finished, the woman quickly sealed the lid. The air in the room felt lighter. "That," she said, tapping the jar, "is your regret. Removed and preserved." Daniel laughed nervously. "So, what now? You throw it away?" She shook her head. "Nothing so childish. You want to sell it, don't you?" "How much?" he asked, half joking. She looked at him for a long time. "The price," she said finally, "is your favorite excuse." He frowned. "My what?" "Every time you think about that job, you follow it with a sentence, don't you?" "If only I had taken it. But I couldn't because—" She slid a blank receipt toward him. "Fill in the blank. That excuse is very valuable to you. You use it to explain your life. You use it to protect yourself from trying again." He stared at the paper. He wanted to write, "Because my parents needed me," or "because I wasn't ready," or "because the timing was wrong." Instead, his hand wrote, "Because I was afraid." His chest tightened. He realized he had never said it that plainly. The woman took the receipt, read it, and nodded. "Good. You've paid." She took the jar with the blue mist and placed it on a shelf full of other glowing jars, all different colors, all quietly humming. As he turned to leave, Daniel felt strange. On the walk home, he tried to replay the old memory that night, that email, that decision, but it wouldn't play the same way. The pain was fuzzier. The sentence, "I ruined my life at 24, didn't feel as solid. And something else was gone too. He couldn't use it as easily anymore. Whenever he started to say, "I can't apply for this, I messed up years ago," his brain stumbled. The old excuse had been sold. Without it, there was just a quiet question. Okay, but what about now? Psychology has a name for this: regret attachment. There is no real shop that buys regrets, but your mind has been running a similar business for years. Every big regret you keep replaying comes packaged with an excuse you secretly love. I can't change because of what happened back then. I can't risk anything because I already ruined my chance. It hurts, but it's also safe. Because as long as the past is the problem, you never have to test yourself in the present. The only way to sell a regret is not to erase the past, but to give up the excuse you've attached to it. To say, "I was afraid," instead of "I couldn't." It's painful, because if fear was the real reason then, it might still be the real reason now. But that's also where your power comes back. So here's your Story Minds question. If you walked into that shop tonight and put one regret into a glass jar, what sentence would you have to write on the receipt to pay for it? I can't change because. And what would your life look like if you stopped being able to use that sentence at all? If you want, tell me in the comments. I'd sell the regret of, and the excuse I'd give up is, we might not get a magical shop, but we do get this moment right now to decide which stories we're still willing to live inside. This is Story Minds. If your brain is still quietly replaying a line or a moment, that's your cue to hit like. And if you want to walk this path with others who are learning their own minds, subscribe and join the community. I'll meet you in the next story.